White people, can I be in y'all's business for a second? And can you guys answer me? And I promise I won't tell anybody. I'll keep my mouth shut. I swear to God. It's just between me and you. Okay, what do you guys define as fat? I need to know. Because every single time I see a video of Tate McRae, it's always white women in the comments of every demographic saying, I love how she's not skinny. Like, I love how she's so confident in her body, even though she's not skinny. To every white girl I've ever talked to, and to every white girl I've seen in the comment section, they're like, Tate McRae is big. Like, she's big. She can, like, to some people, she might even be considered fat. And I'm like, in what world would Tate McRae be considered fat?
Hi, white adjacent here, i.e. suburban black girl. Now, I can't speak for all white women or really any white women, but I can tell you what I experienced growing up amongst a lot of white people. You weren't skinny unless you looked like this, at least where I grew up. In fact, this is the biggest I've ever been. And growing up, one of my white friends would constantly bring up how big my butt was. And yet, I don't even have a big butt now. This is what I looked like when we were friends. I simply didn't have enough fat on my body to be able to have a big butt. It just physically was impossible. And yet she brought it up almost every time we hung out.
When I was a tween, I had this friend who always used to say I had a big butt. It didn't bother me, but I thought it was weird because I was really skinny, athletic, and didn't have enough fat on my body to have a big butt. One day, I told my mom about this friend's obsession with me having a big butt. So my mom said, she's just jealous because she doesn't have a butt. She probably slides off her chair every time she sits down. Amused by this visual, I told my friend what my mom had to say. My friend did not like this, but she never made any comments about my butt again.
Now, to be fair, she did also say that she wished her legs looked like mine because I always had an athletic build. So there was that. But to be clear, if you look athletic, if you have a big butt, you're not skinny. If you don't have a thigh gap, if people can see your booty from the front, you ain't skinny. So if you are a black or brown girl or woman who is planning to move to the suburb, if you do not look like this, they are going to talk about you. Maybe not to your face, but you will be the topic of conversation in some people's circle. That is almost guaranteed. So you're going to need to get a thick skin now if you don't already have one. Decide not to care. Be prepared as best you can, because unless your stomach is concave, they're going to think you are not skinny. Now, I know it's hard to tell because I'm wearing a big dress, but just look at my arms. Like, it never gave fat. And yet she always talked about how big my butt was. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? My nickname growing up was Skinny Minnie. That was what my mom always called me. I literally had no butt. There was no butt to be had or seen or sat on. To this day, I actually have to bring a seat cushion with me to the movies and on planes because otherwise I get terrible back pain because I have no cushion. I mean, there's something there, but when I sit down, it disappears. I don't know. And if I had a big butt, that would not be the case. But I'm not kidding you. I go to the movies every week and I bring a seat cushion with me. A couple weeks ago, I accidentally left it there. But luckily I had a backup because if you don't have a butt, you have to be prepared at all times because there's not enough natural cushion down there. It gets painful. I can't sit down on hard seats for very long. It's a real problem. And yet she constantly was telling me I had a big butt. So to answer your question, if you're muscular, if you're curvy, you ain't skinny. At least not to the suburban white girls I grew up with. I'm just letting you know. So at least for some of the people saying, wow, I love that she's so confident, it's a microaggression. It's a white on white microaggression. They're basically saying, wow, she really doesn't care what she looks like. It's like if a male-centered woman who wears makeup saw a woman not wearing makeup and said, wow, you're so brave. I could never go outside without makeup. Wow, look at that. You're wearing your real eyelashes. Wow, no blush at all. They're poking at her. That's their way of trying to sound like they're being body positive, but it's really like, oh, wow, couldn't be me. Or sometimes they have a similar body type or are bigger and they're projecting their insecurities. I can't speak for everyone, obviously. I'm sure there are quite a few women who genuinely think that that's great, that she's so confident. But again, it's like, why wouldn't she be confident if she's fit So there's still an underlying, whether they mean to or not, there's an underlying hint of, wow, you're going outside like that? Because otherwise, why would she be confident for accepting her body? What's wrong with her body, basically? Like, why would it be like, wow, you're brave, wow, you're confident? It should just be like, it's a body. It's a body, and she's an athlete, essentially, if she's dancing on stage and singing. I don't know. I've never seen. I don't know if she like sings while she dances. Some artists actually pre-record their vocals and they lip sync while they're dancing. But regardless, even if you're just dancing on stage, you're an athlete. Like, what is there to be confident about? Like, what? Imagine saying to Michael Phelps, "Wow," or saying about Michael Phelps, "Wow, I love that he's so confident that he goes outside like that, but he embraces his body. He's an athlete. What are you talking about?" What? But no, they don't say that. They only talk like that to women and about women's bodies. Actually, I should talk about that on my other account, The Feminists. If you like feminist content, follow me over there. Okay, bye.